Hello everyone, my name is Juchar. Today I'm here to do the Cisco Academy's first packet tracer, which is packet tracer 2.1, configuring initial switch setting. It's a pretty easy packet tracer. The objectives are verify the default switch configuration, configure basic switch configuration, configure a message of the day banner, save the configuration file to NVRAM, and configure S2. Alright, let's go to part 1, step 1, and it's asking me to go to privilege exec mode. So to do that, I click on the switch, I go to CLI, hit enter, and the command for that is just simply enable. Okay, once I type enable and hit enter, I'm now in privilege exec mode. Alright, this is the first part. That was easy. And the second part is asking me to show the running configuration file. To see the running configuration file and all the configuration that has been assigned to the switch, you simply type show running dash config. Hit enter. And as you see, I see all the configuration. If I hit the spacebar on a keyboard, I can see more. Spacebar again till I go all the way to the end. Alright, so this is my configuration, and there are several questions. Let's answer these questions. It says, how many fast internet interfaces does the switch have? Alright, let's take a look. We have interface fast internet 01 and goes all the way to interface fast Ethernet 0/24. Means there are 24 fast Ethernet interfaces on the switch. The second question is, how many gigabit Ethernet interface does the switch have? Okay, if I just scroll down, I see there are 2 gigabit Ethernet interfaces on the switch. The third question is, what is the range of value shown for line VTY? Okay, the line VTY, we scroll down. As you see, we have line VTY 0 to 4 and line VTY 5 to 15. So the ranges are 0 to 4 and 5 to 15. Alright, the other question is, which command will display the current content on non-volatile random access memory and VRAM? To do that, the command is show startup dash config. Okay, because there is nothing in there, so is not present. Okay, but this is the command, show startup config. The other question is, how does the switch respond with startup config is not present? Well, it says the startup config is not present because we haven't saved anything to the NVRAM. And we're going to do that and we're going to check it later on. Okay, let's go to part 2, assign a name to a switch. So the first command we're going to do in any topology, we're going to assign the name to our devices. So to do that, I go to global config mode by typing configure or config T. So config T is a short command for configure terminal. Alright, so this is the command. Once I press enter, I go to global config mode. So the command to assign the host name is simply host name, and we're gonna name it to S1. Hit enter. Okay, so now as you see, the host name changed from switch that was before to S1. We're gonna go back to privilege exec mode. The step 2 is secure access to the console line. Alright, console line, this is the console line. This is basically the console line. If you want to configure a device, you connect your laptop or your computer to the console line on your devices, on your router or switches. So by default, this line is not secured. We're gonna secure that. So first of all, we have to go to global config mode to go to console line. So to go to global config mode, we type again configure terminal or conft. Okay, now we are global config mode, and we're gonna go to line console 0. Okay, we are now in line console, and we can assign a password to it. Password, and the password, as you see in here, it says let me in. Okay, we type let me in, and we hit enter. Now we're gonna say this password has to be applied once you log in. So don't forget the login command. Login, and we're gonna exit from here. And then hit exit again. So the step 3 is asking me to verify the console access is secure. So to do that, I go to show again, running config. Hit the space bar all the way to the end to see if the line console now it has a password, and the password is let me in. Cool. To also verify that the line console password is applied, I can also just exit from here. Once we're in the privilege exec mode, I type exit. So now we're asking me for the password. That means the line console is secured. So if I type let me in, I can get into the line console. So I type enable to go to privilege exec mode again. Cool. So that means our password is working. All right, let's jump into the next step. Okay. And the step 4 is secure the privilege mode access. So let's exit from here. I'm going to show you something here. Let's exit from here and let me in. If I type enable to go to privilege exec mode, this mode is not secured. As you see, I can easily go in there without any password. I'm in privilege exec mode now, and I go to global config mode in order to apply the password for privilege mode. So to do that, again, configure terminal. I'm now in global config mode, and the command for that, as you see in here, it's enable password. You know, for the purpose of this packet tracer, we're gonna use enable password, but never use enable password. Enable password is in a clear text and is not encrypted. So the better command for that is enable secret. But I'm gonna go ahead and use the enable password because the packet tracer says that. Okay, so enable password and space and our password. So our password seems like it's lowercase c, $1, lowercase c again, and I'm not sure if it's 0 or it's probably 0. Okay, so this is our password. I hit enter. So this is my password now, and I believe that was in 0, that was capital O, but because it didn't give me any point in here. So let's try enable password with the C1, $, and lowercase c and capital O. Let's see what this one does. Okay, it didn't change anything, but seems like it's 0. Okay, we exit from here. And now I'm gonna type disable to get out from privilege exec mode. If I type enable, it should ask me for the password. Yes, the password is there, and C1, $, lowercase c again, and capital O. Okay, now I'm in privilege exact mode. Pretty cool. So we assign the password for console line, we assign the password for privilege exact mode, and let's go ahead and do the rest of the packet tracer. Okay, the next task is verify the privilege mode access is secure. We already did that. We disabled that and we enabled, and it asks for password, and we type the password to get into privilege exact mode. Alright, so let's check if the password is in the running config. So we type show running config. As you see, enable password, it's that weird character of Cisco, C1 $C capital O. Cool, but it's not cool because it's in a clear text. Alright, so the next step is asking me that this is in a clear text, and you should always use enable secret. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just press Control and Z at the same time to get out from there, and go to configure terminal again. We're now in global config mode, and the command is enable secret. It's a secret. Okay, enable secret, and it's a secret. Okay, hit enter, exit, and let's see it again if this time is the password is in a clear text. So show running config, and as you see right now the password, it's encrypted. Cool, but the enable password is still there. That means we have to enable secret and enable password, but the enable secret always overrides the enable password. Even though enable password is there, but we have to enter the enable secret in order to get into the privilege exact mode. The next task is to verify that. So we already did that. We saw that password is encrypted. Okay, but let's scroll down all the way to this password. This password is not encrypted. So how can we encrypt that? It's easy. We just go to global config mode, conf t. This time I'm going to use conf t. All right, and then the command is service password dash encryption. Cool. We're gonna exit from here. We're gonna verify. Again, show running config. I'm gonna scroll down all the way to line console. As you see now, it's encrypted. Pretty cool, huh? All right, we finished this step 2, and now let's scroll down and see. It's asking me for message of the day banner. Okay, so the banner is once you log into the console, there is a message, warning message displays. It says, hey, do not log in. You don't have the privileges to log in, or you can't log in. You're not the admin. Okay, that kind of messages can be displayed in the console. So to do that, the command is pretty simple. Again, we're gonna go to conf t, to global config mode, and the command for that is banner message of the day, MOTD, for message of the day, and we're gonna place our message in a delimiter. So the delimiter can be a $, hash sign, percentage sign, @ sign, or whatever sign you want to use. So I'm gonna use percentage sign, and let's go with the packet tracer the way it says. It's using that quotation. Okay, and the message is, this is a secure system. Authorized access only. Okay, close out with the quotation again and hit enter. Alright, so let's exit from here. So we assign the banner, we exit from there, and then if I exit from here again, I should see the banner. This is the banner. This is a secure system, authorized access only. Cool, right? So let's get into the console. Let me in. Enable. And the password for that was, I just forgot it. It's a secret. Okay. It's a secret. Nice. So that was the password for privilege exec mode. So let's answer the questions. When will banner display? Well, the banner display once you trying to log into the console. All right. Why should every switch have a message of the day banner? Because of the security purposes, right? So you should tell people, hey, if they're not authorized, they cannot access to the device. All right. So the next step is to save configuration file to NVRAM. So now we did all the configuration and we try to save that in NVRAM. So if the switch turns off or reboots, we're not going to lose our configuration. So to do that, the command is simply from the privilege exec mode, copy running dash config space to startup dash config. Okay, once we do that, it's asking me the question, do you want to save it in the startup config? Yes. I press enter. It's all saved now. Cool. Now you remember we typed the show startup config and there wasn't anything showing in there. Let's take a look now. Let's take a look if the files are copied to there. So the command is show startup config. As you see, whatever you have it in the running config, now it's copied to startup config. So if I reboot the switch now, I should still have the configuration. Not a problem. Okay, so let's answer the question. What is the shortest abbreviated version of copy running config to startup config? There are several shortcuts to do that. I'm gonna show you the simplest one. The simplest one is just WR. That's it. WR does the whole thing. Like instead of typing copy the running config to startup config, you just simply type WR. That's simple. All right, it does the same thing. Matter of fact, if I do that and press enter, as you see, it's building the configuration and it's copied now. The other one is just copy run start. That's the other way. If I hit enter, it does the same thing, asking me for confirmation. Yes, I'll confirm that, and that's it. All right, so the first easy one is WR. It doesn't ask me for confirmation. It just copies to the startup config. And the other one is copy run start. It just copies the running configuration to the startup configuration. Pretty easy. The other question is, which command will display the contents of NVRAM? As I showed you, the command is show startup dash config. All right. The other question, are all the changes that were entered recorded in the file? Yes. Well, we copied the whole thing, right? The part 5, it's configure S2. So we have completed the configuration for S1, and now we configure the S2. It says if you cannot remember the commands, refer the part 1 to 4 for the assistance. So it's pretty easy. Let's do that. Hopefully you remember all the commands. So let's go to S2. It's pretty easy. So hit enter. Enable to go to privilege exec mode. Conf T to go to global config mode. And the first command was host name and S2. Okay, we named it to S2, and now we're gonna secure our console line. So to secure our console line, I'm gonna go to console line console 0, move the mouse down. Okay, and the password, let me in. Okay, and we're gonna apply this password once we log in. Nice. So we did that. Let's exit from here. This password is in a clear text. First of all, I'm gonna encrypt this password by by typing this command. So to encrypt the password is service password dash encryption. Okay, we encrypted the password. Okay, now we're gonna assign a password to our privilege exec mode. To do that, it's enable secret. It's a secret. Okay, we already did that. Nice. And we assigned the banner. So banner, message of the day, quotation, this is a secure system. Authorized access only. Close that with the quotation again. Hit enter. Okay, we assigned the banner. Cool. Okay, let's copy the running config to startup config. So I'm gonna exit from here and copy, run, start. Okay, asking me, do you want to save that? Yes, and we save that. Okay, so I'm stuck on 94%. The only thing I can think of is just enable password. I use O instead of 0. Okay, let's take a look if it's the case. So let me in to get to the console, enable, and it's a secret. Conf T to go to global config mode, and then enable password C1. Let's use this 0 this time. $sign C0. Okay. Wow. So that was the case. Again, I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna save that again and copy, run to start. So we all done with this packet tracer. Hopefully that was informative for you guys. Until the next video, bye.